Hi, I'm Bonnie Kimke. Welcome to my studio and welcome to Quilting on a Thread. This video is going to be one of my triple T videos. Remember my tips, tricks, and techniques that I want to share with you. This particular tip, trick, technique that I'm going to share with you has to do with applique. There are two types of applique that I typically use. There are probably many more, but I typically use either a raw edge applique or a turned edge applique. I will use raw edge applique on a piece that is what I call static. It's something simple that happens throughout the project, and I will typically do a raw edge applique and just sew it down on my machine. Now, turned edge applique is one of my go-tos when there's supposed to be some dimension being added to the project. And this particular project that I'm going to show you today has to do with turned applique and the fact that there's a lot of dimension that I need to add with my applique. This project is actually two twinned quilts that I'm making for my sisters-in-law. And let me just show you one of them because I have them both kind of, the background is already done and I have them laid out, meaning that I have the basic first layer of applique pinned and taped to the machine, to the project. So this is the project, and the white stuff you see there is embroidery tape, which is what I use when I'm going to be sewing it by machine. And I didn't know when I first started this how I was going to do it. So let's show you some more of this project. So this is 3 branches. I can't possibly raise it up high enough for you to see all of it. But this is 3 branches, and later on those branches will have birds on them. So you can tell from the background that you see the sky in the back, and it's supposed to be demonstrating movement. And I wanted some dimension to that movement, so I chose to do turned edge. So this is the one that all I've done is lay out the foundational pieces of the trees on the quilt. But if you noticed on those trees, there's a lot of little ins and outs, bits and pieces. That would have been very laborious to have stitched down on the machine, a lot of starts and stops. So I'm going to show you how I do something like this by hand. So oftentimes I would put hand applique in a hoop. Something like one of these 2 hoops. Unfortunately, these pieces that I have to applique are very large, and they take up a significant amount of space. So what I have done is I've taken a tea tray. Well, all I have to do for this is lay my pieces out. This has been already done, and I use this as my stabilizer to work on the material on the project. So let me pull this one that I'm working on up. So I lay my project over in the area that I'm going to be working, and I take something that'll stabilize it so that it doesn't move too much on me. And now I can simply come in here, grab my needle, and begin working. I want to show you what I do to keep my hand turning from tangling. When I go in and out, and I'm ready to pull, I will take a hold of my tail of my thread that's going to go through, and I'll just do something with my hand or my fingers to stabilize it. And that prevents it from knotting. And so I'm going to put you on fast forward, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this little floret so you see what's going on. While you're watching me stitching these appliques down, I want to note something that I've done in this project. Normally, turned applique is turned as you do the applique, but hey, no rules, right? Because these branches to applique are so complicated, I chose to turn and press the applique pieces before pinning them to the project, and this makes the applique go so much faster. So that may seem a little laborious, but I guarantee you it's a lot less laborious than trying to do it on the sewing machine and having to get to those old points, turn, stop, starts. For me, it's a lot easier than hooping it and then having to constantly re-hoop in the embroidery hoop. And it's so easy to just move things around, shift them, just making sure that you keep your weight out of the way. So I hope that that helps you in your journey. You may one day find that you're doing some applique and that it's too large to feel comfortable doing on your sewing machine. So now you have another option to do that. So I hope you enjoy your journey in quilting, and join me again sometime here on Quilting on a Thread. Bye-bye.